Today is a very special day. We live and direct at the Church of Refuge. Where the great pastor Sadie Campbell preaches, and yes.
For the
Did I say it wrong?
No, she said amen.
Oh,
Well, you
amen,
said the great
amen.
pastor.
I get an amen in the crowd, so yeah. How you doing? My co-host. Co-host today.
Oh yeah, I'm doing fine. I'm so happy to be a co-host now.
Yeah,
I don't never get to be a co-host.
You getting all kind of titles, lately.
Yes,
yeah,
I know.
So, what we talking about? Tell them what we talking about today.
Oh yeah, today's topic is, what does it mean to be single?
Yes, what does it mean to be single? So, before we get into this, people out there watching, I want to know if you're single, for one, and for two, how is it being single? If you're single, the good things, the bad parts about being single. Let us know. Drop them comments under this video. Anywhere that you see this at, drop the comments. We want to know. So
yeah, I got Facebook Live. So if you want to drop a comment about what it means to be single, go ahead and tune in and chime in if you want to. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
You good?
Sorry,
go ahead.
Sorry. If you want to chime in, or what does it mean to you of being single and safe, or however, you don't have to just being single, period. What benefits are you getting being single? Are you happy being single? Is it peaceful being single? What are some benefits of being single?
So I'm gonna ask you, Asia, because we talking. Are you single right now?
I am actually single.
You single?
Single, safe, and saved.
Okay. That's good. Give her a round of applause.
Right.
Single, safe, and saved.
We have a listener. We're gonna shout out April.
Shout out April.
And we're gonna shout out Pastor Sadie Campbell, who's here.
And Tammy's in the crowd.
And Tammy is here.
How you doing, Tammy?
How you doing, Tammy?
How are you?
All right. I'm fine.
She's fine. Yeah. She's fine. Everybody's fine today. So, how would you explain or describe being single? Like from I know a little bit of your history, like before, you were married. So how is it transitioning to being from a marriage to being single again? Like how was the transition?
Transition is hard with the transition of being from married to single. But I don't know if with my situation, I probably was married and still feeling single. So deep. I don't know if I'm a good person to talk about marriage to if the transition was okay. I don't know. I do know that I've been single basically all my life. So I'm being honest. I don't know how it feels to be in a marriage when I was still operating like a roommate.
And that's real. That's deep right there. So you said you felt single even when you were with somebody. You get what I'm saying?
So you can feel single being with somebody and married. So, and then you can feel single. I still felt the same way I'm feeling now. So the question is, what does single mean to you, Quincy?
Being single to me is pretty much like you say. You're single. You're doing everything on your own. You don't have that backbone to fall on or rely on. You get what I'm saying? The same way you said you were in a relationship and you felt single is because you didn't have that backbone probably to lay on. Right. When you needed somebody to lay on, nobody was there.
Right.
So it's like being single. You have to pick yourself up. You got to go to work every day. You got to grind. You got to do everything yourself. Get what I'm saying? So that's what being single really is to me. Basically being independent. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And having the faith of your own faith.
So this is, and let me back up, because this is a single ministry that we're starting at Refuge Church of God. So I know he has his podcast, and give it up for Quincy and Dwayne for
thank you.
coming here to do this. I appreciate it. You see that listening audience? I got a listening audience clapping. I feel happy. Yeah. So I feel like we're gonna take this ministry somewhere, even though we didn't market probably good, because I'm not a good marketable person, not a marketable person, but market this single ministry. But this has got to be you like cross the board, because single people will get into difficult situation. And what I mean difficult situations, we'll start getting depressed because we don't have anyone. We'll start feeling loneliness because we don't have anyone. We start feeling like why I can't find nobody, or am I pretty enough, especially I'm talking about for females. Are we pretty enough? I know I gained weight, or is it about my weight that I can't find someone, or I don't look like it like back in the days. But this ministry, me and Quincy decided to take on this single ministry within this church, because I'm single and my kids are grown. So now I can't find me. I gotta find love with me, because now my whole time was advanced around my kids. And I'm saying this to say this: we developed this so we won't be lonely. We always hanging out with married people. But
where's our wife? Where is our husband?
Right. And then there's no events that we go to that we come together as singles. I know that me and April, who's here, we went to Hawaii. I enjoyed Hawaii. It was like I bonded with the water. It was like relaxation.
Beautiful.
The water was going over my head. But it was something that single people don't get to do often, because we shut up in the house. So if we can get more people to come to the single ministry to get to know each other, to say you're not alone, you're not lonely, we got events to go to. There's something that single people, good, safe things that single people can do, instead of going to parties and clubs and getting out there and being wild and messing with somebody, being a side chick, or messing with somebody else's husband. We bringing the single ministry here so we can let you know it's fun things to do while single, and don't let people put that pressure on you. You have to be married in the timeline, because I deal with timelines. I don't know about you. You be like, God, I'm 45, y'all.
I deal with time too. Yeah. Yes,
so it's like you're 45. You got to rush this thing, and people like, why you not married? I'm not married because God hasn't sent my Boaz. When God sent him, that's when because I made a mistake one time, and I think I'm paying for it now, but I don't want to make that same mistake. So I'm trying to get other females and males to say, okay, we can be safe and single here. Sorry.
No, you good. So let me ask you this. And to elaborate on that, I feel like there are good people out here. There are good men. There are good women. And I feel like, in certain extent, the same way women feel been hurt, men have been hurt. You get what I'm saying? And it may seem like, some men have hearts and they fall in love and they have soft spots too. But somewhere down the line, it was that one woman that hardened his heart. You get what I'm saying? And what we need is the good women to stand out, because all we see on Instagram, you see girls half naked. You see them on Facebook. They take pictures with their back to the camera, because now they're accustomed to thinking this is what will get a man. Let me show my backside.
So let me ask you a question. So why is it that most men go after women like that?
Like I've said, like if you look on Instagram and you look on Facebook, all these social medias, that's all you see. That's all you see. When the good women, we don't 90% of what I see on Facebook and social media are negative. Like it's not women I look at and be like, oh, I will marry this girl. It's nothing that makes you think like, I will drop all these girls I'm talking to for this woman. So it's like if a man doesn't feel secure, you can't expect him to treat that girl or drop her or drop everybody he's dealing with for this girl if he doesn't feel secure about that girl. So we need women to act, the women of God in them, to stand out more than these other females.
And I think that the women of God is standing out, but who wants the women of God these days? Because people have gotten, he don't raise his hand. People have gotten okay, so this question is, how many men are in church versus how many women? Where is our men at in the church to say, okay, I see that he has the word of God in him. Mm-hmm. So, and he's doing activating his gift. Where are the men at?
That's a good question. We missing.
So then how can you if you're a good man, how can you validate what you're saying and you don't have no Holy Ghost to back up what you're saying?
Well, I see your point, and I see both sides. Like I said, if this is what you see and you're accustomed to, it's not no hope in a man's mind. Like if I'm logging into Facebook every day and seeing this type of female. And another thing is, today it's so easily, people get so easily influenced. You get what I'm saying? Like nobody wants to be leaders. Everybody wants to follow. Like what looks cool, what makes me fit in, and this and that. So it can turn some good women into followers too. This worldly world.
This world can.
So it really takes, like a strong woman. And I'm gonna be honest, like, sometimes you always find out the truth, when things get hard about a woman. Like fear is stronger than love. You get what I'm saying?
But go ahead, April. April has a question.
Not a question, but a comment. When you said where are the men in church, my cousin, he's not here, but Jamel, he said that when he was growing up and in church, he was kind of more so embarrassed about coming to church. It's not like it was the cool thing to be in church. It was kind of like uncool to be a church boy. So maybe that's just in the world. People, or females, they just feel like you need to go after the bad guy or whatnot because they are the more popular guys, and people just feel like being the church boy is just, uncool. So some people they just feel that way about church.
But how can we, and we're talking single men, how can we as the church get more single men? And marriage, we talk about just the single. I know there's married men and married family that needs to come to church, but our basic is single. How can we get more single good men to be in the house of the Lord? How can we do this and not say, okay, it's not is cool or whatever, because we can't be in the bow.
Okay, yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I'm gonna ask April, are you single?
Yes.
From your personal experiences, like honestly,
can you hear her? Okay.
From your personal experiences, why do you feel like you're single? Is it more like your standards on men? You expect high standards, or is it you just haven't found the right one? What's your personal experience?
It could be a combination of things. One thing of how I look at men, it was kind of impacted on my mother and how I seen her struggle with my stepfather and how he wasn't a provider, how he was in and out of jail, how all he did mainly was smoke weed and drink, and pretty much he was like the third child of the house. He wasn't the man of the house. And so when I was in school, because I was coming up with this, it just made me look at certain people like, I would not date you, because I don't want to go follow that same track that my mother followed.
That pattern.
But I don't think I intentionally, I know I don't socialize as much because it's mainly for me just work, church, and then home or whatnot. But part of it, even when I'm I don't know, I just feel like my social circle is mainly, besides church, is all like white people. So, and I wouldn't say I wouldn't date a white person, but I don't really interact with a lot of people outside of work and church. So it could just be not just going out.
This is deep. This is deep because I think a lot of people need to see the woman's side too. Like And like I said, sometimes when you have a bad experience, you know, it can ruin all the rest of the good experiences, you know. So I totally understand that. You know, you witnessed your stepfather doing that to your mom, so you know, but as people, we have to realize everybody's not the same. Even I'm learning this. Every black woman is not the same. Every white person is not the same. You know what I'm saying? No person is the same. So we can't label one bad experiences on like and put it on everybody. You get what I'm saying?
But then that's we tell people that, but we don't tell them how to heal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We sit here and we be like, oh, everybody's not, but it might be so rooted in them, but we don't tell them how to heal.
Yeah.
Because some people are single because they scared.
Exactly.
They scared to be hurt again, or they scared, like Sister April say, scared to be that pattern, or they scared of getting the abuse, or what if just all type of stuff be in people's mind.
Yeah.
But people don't tell people how to heal, and that's what I'm saying. With we probably have to do another talk about how to heal.
Yeah.
Because people are broken out here.
Yeah.
People are so broken out here. They don't have no clue how to heal. Who really know? I mean, we read the word of God. And that's part of the process of healing. But what about being around other, like we're doing now, other single people that's going through?
You want to know another issue? I think
What
nobody wants to listen. You know, nobody wants to be wrong.
That's a true
Nobody
statement.
wants to listen. Everybody want to speak. You know, well, I feel this is right. This is right. But what we have to learn, we have to start listening to people, because you find out more when you listen. You shut up and you just listen.
That's true.
You get what I'm saying? So that's that's really what a lot of people want. Some people, men and women, just want somebody to listen to them. But us as people, people in the world don't want to listen to us. You got people even in church sometimes, like, that's too busy for us. Like, so it's like, who do I talk to? Who can I talk to?
Right.
So you get into this depression and you start feeling, okay, these people don't love me. Like, you know, and I don't know if that's the case with you, April, but maybe it's like you feel like you can't open up to people. You get what I'm saying? Is that the case? Do you feel like you can open up to people, or you hold your issues to yourself?
I don't know. I guess I'm trying to overcome it now, but yeah, growing up, again, going back to my childhood with my mother, because I knew the home situation was bad, but I didn't feel like I could talk to anybody, so
Right.
I just I didn't talk about it. And it was only like certain people in my family that knew what was going on, so maybe that kind of grew up with me to where I just always had this don't ask, don't tell about certain areas of my life. And then now, as I'm an adult, I kind of am okay more talking or communicating about certain things that I wouldn't be comfortable talking about when I was younger, because it was either shameful or embarrassing to
Right.
me. I felt like,
And some things we go through is embarrassing. We do, and then we bottle it up because we don't want to tell nobody. Because things I went through with my ex-husband, whatever, it was so embarrassing. I probably won't even tell it because it's so embarrassing. But then it's a good thing to be single and say, it's a good thing, because that begins your healing process when you come to the church. Is that healing? I don't know about you. Did you start healing, Quincy, when you started coming to the church and some issues you was dealing with?
Yeah, absolutely. It spiritually, man, it made me realize, you know, I can't fight my battles. You know, God fights my battles. So, even with relationships, like right now in my life, being single, you know, things happen and you know, I feel like everything happens for a reason. You get what I'm saying? So it definitely makes your faith stronger. You know, some things you take personal before, you don't take personal now. Or some things you looked at as a miss. Oh, I didn't get this person. You realize it was a blessing. You know, you didn't get that. So it really brought my faith, and absolutely.
I want to ask Dewan a question. I know he walking. Dewan, I know that you're married, right? So was it a difference when you was when you was in the church, were you single in the church or you was single not in the church?
I was single in church.
Okay, so do that, because I'm trying to prove a point. Is it better to be single in the church to find your spouse, or be out in the streets and find your spouse? And both of you out in the streets.
I actually found my spouse in the church. And it wasn't even that I was actually looking. My situation was, I've been a musician all my life. The church that I was playing at the time, I was just there just helping out. The drummer is like one of my good friends. And just being there maybe about 2 months, and like I said, I wasn't looking for nobody. She walked in the door, and it went from there.
It's like a movie, man.
You're right.
I didn't even expect her to be there. So it was kind of like one of those things. I was paying her attention, but I wasn't trying to get drawn in by it. But she kept coming.
Right.
And
God sent.
She started, when she kept coming, it was like, okay, I got caught staring at her by her. And it was, like I said, it was the motion. That motion, I think, me paying her attention the way that I paid her attention, she actually approached me first before I was actually, like, it was in my heart to do it, but I was like, at the moment, it was like, okay, this church, and I didn't want to make it too abrasive.
Right.
But she didn't care. She walked straight up to me and introduced herself, and it went from there. And here we are this year. Next year we'll make 19 years. So
Good gosh.
we've been married since 2011. So
Wow.
But y'all was dating how long before that? Because you told me
from
this.
2000, the end of 2004 until 2011.
So y'all was together that long before y'all got married.
Yeah.
See, I wanted to put that in there. So yeah, you know, that's
awesome.
Yeah, that's love, man.
Right, because people feel like, and that the point I was trying to make, people feel like I'm not gonna be saved, and then I'm gonna find a husband. They feel like they need to be out in the streets, and that's when they find a husband. But you can find your spouse or your wife. You can find your spouse while in the church. And I remember of a story where they was the Benjamites was about to be wiped out. And so God told them, go to, I forgot this town or whatever, and you're going to see some women praising God, just praising me and shouting and dancing, and then you go grab your wife. And that's how it happened. You can be single and saved and praise God at the same time, and God will send just, and I'm just saying, I'm still single. Don't think she must be married. I'm not married, but I just feel like God will send you your husband if you keep busy in the church, like what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Hanging with singles. That's good.
Yeah.
You got to keep busy doing something. You never do know.
Can I say this too?
Yes,
Go
sir.
ahead, bro.
That's one thing, for me, coming up in the church like I did, it helps you build character.
It does.
Differently than, knowing people that's of the street. It's, to me, I had those friends like that, but they didn't judge me for being in the church.
Right.
They respected me a whole lot more due to being in the church. So I think, like you were about to say, those aspects where you might as well go ahead and align yourself with what God is wanting you to be.
Right.
In the whole situation with, like I said, I wasn't even looking. It'll walk in and it'll catch you off guard. It may be one of those things. Yeah, it may be in the church, but you might be drawn to a woman or a man that you might see out. They may be already in the church as well. You just don't know.
Right.
So the thing is, it's not saying that just because you're in the church, it's gonna be in that church that you're in.
Right.
It might be somebody else's church You might go to a visiting church, or you might just be out eating, and they may walk in the door, see you, y'all catch eyes, y'all don't even know that both of y'all have that build and that structure with God, and it just hits off like that.
But I say this, bro. Like, don't you feel some people might miss their blessing because they're drawn into the wrong one?
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? Like, you can be drawn in. You could be wanting this so bad because it looks good on the outside.
It's easy.
You know what I'm saying? It's easy.
Yeah.
You know, like it looks so good. Like I need to be with her.
Yeah.
But the inside just might be trash. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like nasty, just trash. And then the one that treated you right, you know, done you right, stuck by you, helped you when you needed help, you know, prayed with you, wanted to read the Bible with you. You didn't want nothing to do with her. You get what I'm saying? All because this one girl might have had something, her looks was better, or this and that. So sometimes we can be looking in the wrong directions, you know, and God is trying to show us somebody else.
But
You get what I'm saying?
how do you get men to not want trophy piece, but what God needs for them, like a prayer partner? Because most men want trophy pieces,
Yeah, it's
but
true.
not a prayer partner or a prayer warrior or somebody. So now women that's in the church feels like we have to compete with the women outside the church, which that shouldn't be, but in our mind we are. I'm telling y'all the truth. We
It
feel
feel
like
like it.
we
It
feel
do.
like we gotta compete, and that's why sometimes women come with these tight stuff on, and then because we feel like we gotta compete.
That went back to what I said earlier. I said our women that save, our women of God, need to show themselves. Like our pastor say, let your light shine. Let your light shine. Let them know who you are. Because like you say, y'all feel like y'all gotta compete. So you're kind of changing who you are to fit in and trying to get this man how they're getting this man. So you're not letting your light shine.
Right.
You're changing up. You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
So that's what it is. That's why I feel like there's not a lot of men looking for good women no more, because they don't have nothing to look to or look
and
at.
that's a true statement. But then some people raised so, and I'm not judging how they've been raised, but I don't know if that takes a part of it, and I'm not basing it on men just bashing, but some men are just raised of seeing their parents, their mom dress like that, or seeing how their mom conduct themselves. So how do you try to set aside, like, okay, your mindset? How do one change their mindset?
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
I say I just came from Nigeria a couple weeks ago, and when I say Nigeria, you'll walk down the street and you can see a beautiful girl. Then you walk down the next street and you see one even beautiful. Then you walk down the street and be like, man. Like, what I'm saying is, it's always going to be a woman with bigger this, bigger that. It's always going to be a prettier woman than you. But what a man really is looking for is what's in the inside. Every man is looking for in a woman.
Well,
That's
I wish
what it
you would
is.
tell these celebrities and go and talk to all these celebrities, these
I'm telling you.
these men that said they want high value women, these women that has all of these hair dragging the ground and makeup just pound on. So I'm saying, men say this, but they action says another thing. And women, we fall in that trap because we don't feel like we too good enough, or we are low self-esteem. And I'm just talking about women, and then we lose the joy of being single. We lose the joy of being single because we sitting here always in competition. And I want to tell the women out here, be happy being single. Be happy. Find yourself, because I know that's a journey I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to find happiness within myself.
Exactly.
And that's hard when you coming from being surrounded just by your kids. Your whole life was around your kids. You don't know what being single is. Some people don't know what single is. You just walking, like somebody say, work, church, home, work, church, home. But let's do something else different.
Exactly.
Let's do something else different. Let's find a hobby. Let's find an event. Let's start hanging out. I think a lot of single women, we don't hang out being single and safe things. We want to go to clubs. We want to show everything but the right thing off.
Yeah.
We don't we not like you said, the real women come up, we not doing it in a positive way, and then it's starting a trend.
Yeah.
Go ahead, I'm sorry. Yes, anybody else has something to say?
Yeah. Pastor, we got our pastor here. Would you like to speak?
I definitely would.
Okay. You can speak.
Can you come up
Is
a
she in
little
the
closer? Oh, okay.
She could be here.
Yeah. So what is your outlook on this, Pastor?
It is a different generation that the singles is going through in now times and days. When we came along, it's very different, and simply because when we was coming along, it was more fathers in the house to train these young men how to be men, how to take care of their wives. They seen that in a man, in another man, but it has changed drastically. There's no men in the homes to teach these young boys how to treat a woman. You get married, because when we were coming along, the young men were taught, get married. And when you get married, this is the do's and this is the don'ts. So now that generation is depleted. So now you all got to build off on what? But the very important thing is you have to follow the direction of God.
Right.
It's not our thoughts, not our ways, but we got to follow the thoughts of God. And our main thing is not for the single young ladies. If you in the church, you are blessed. Do not compete with the young ladies that's hearing the sound of the world, because that's a different set. Not that we look down on them,
No.
but if they come to anything, they got to first come where you all are at right now. Some of them want to do better, dress better and have a better mindset, but they're so broken they have to do these things. They have to do what they're doing. And church ladies should not compete with these young ladies that's in the world. That shouldn't be our mindset. Mm-hmm. And just like I heard brother here say, he said, he wasn't looking. And sometimes, and we know that, the Bible said a man that finds a woman find a good thing. And we have sometimes took it out of context. Sometimes God has to get that woman ready to present herself to that husband. So, being in the church ladies, don't let that be your main focus. Or, I'm tired of being single, da-da-da-da-da-da. Just live the life. God will present you to your husband.
Wow.
Because sometimes our ways is not like the ways of the Lord. And just like, Aisha was saying, she had a bad marriage, and her parents seen this young man before she could see him. And we said, no, that's not for you. And I remember seeing this father on Facebook or whatever it was. He was telling this young man, if you marry my daughter, you're going to take my name away from my daughter, and you're going to put your name on my daughter. And I want you to treat her. I did not raise her for you to mistreat her. I did not raise her to come and get married for you to just put her down or anything. I want you to treat her like I treated her as a father. So these are the things that the single ladies need to understand. I don't have to compete with these young ladies out in the world.
Right.
Because long as God is blessing me, and and if I so desire to get married, God is He's getting me ready by me coming to the church. And just like you quoted that scripture, He told them to marry the women that you see dancing. Marry those. So ladies, I challenge you to keep on dancing.
Yes.
Because God will send somebody, or God will put them in your path, And just like the young man, it may not be at your church.
Right.
It may be at somebody else's church. And he may be in the grocery store. He may be just riding along in a car. And he may just be so smart. He'll get your tag number. You may not even know it.
True.
Because and when we out, you still got to don't put on no tight stuff because the world don't do that. But present yourself as a lady.
Yes.
Because
Right.
those are the ones he gonna take home to mama.
Right.
And you may think that these men, they're choosing these ladies because they don't require much of these men, and sometimes these men don't want to be held accountable.
Oh
If
man,
you step to
can you
me,
repeat that again?
you're
That's
gonna be held
serious.
accountable.
That's serious right
You're gonna
there.
treat me like a lady. You're gonna treat me like my father treated me. And that is why some of these men, because they're not held accountable, they don't account them to anything.
It's easy.
Right.
It is. So that's why they pick up Sue, Sally, and just because they are beautiful ladies and all of this and stuff, they don't have to, work hard for her like they may have to work hard for a church lady.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
that's true.
First, we Pastor was talking about prepare yourself. That's a good because one of our events that I want to do is go to like somewhere like Goodwill and dress how you want your spouse to look, and that's one of our events that I want to do. Dress how you want your spouse to look, and dress and so your spouse can dress how, like Quincy was saying, go dress how he want his wife to look or whatever, however, so we can know how to prepare ourselves. Some people prepare, wives, we know preparing is cooking, cleaning. People don't like to clean. I feel like some women don't like to clean no more. This is a clean fanatic right here. I thought I had OCD. This one, she organized. April is the organizational person I ever known. She knows how to get stuff and together. And then I like...
It's free advertisement right here, April.
Right.
Free advertisement. All them single men.
Right.
Camera
Like
that.
they said, the angels.
Yeah.
All them so they know how to organize. Tammy, you know how to come to church and praise God. So they gonna be looking.
Yeah, Tammy.
So, and then she said accountability.
Yeah.
She talked about accountability for men and women.
Mainly on our men. We
Yeah,
don't, it's easy. If it's something that ain't hard to get, you gonna get it. But what you gotta realize is it's not gonna last. They gonna drop you. It's not gonna let, like one of my favorite singers, I told Pastor, she remind me of Betty Wright. She said anything worth having at all is worth working for and waiting for. That's a true statement. You get what I'm saying?
But
So you have to work hard for what you want, and you gotta, sometimes it takes waiting, and that's another thing for these single people. Work and waiting. You gotta work for it if you want it, and you gotta sometimes wait for a good thing.
it's not.
Yeah.
It's because I think I'm getting tired of family members and not my sister, brother. That my mom is my pastor. I want to say mom, pastor. They don't be hounding me like, why you didn't get married? But I do have other family members be like, are you gay? That's why you not married, or you not married because it's that pressure. I'm not married because God hasn't sent me the right one.
Exactly.
And then, Pastor, how can give us some tips? I wish Dad was here so he can give tips for the man, but Dwayne can talk into like tips for men too. What are some tips that you can give the single women how to prepare?
First of all, you got to present yourself as a lady.
Yeah.
Because it seems like it's that time of season seems like it's just gone. Very seldom do you see ladies acting like ladies. And that is what a young man, they look for. And a lot of times, single ladies, I like to say to single ladies, we make ourselves, because we done been single for so long. We're so independent. We got walls up.
Yeah.
We
My
got so
toes.
many walls built up.
Yeah.
You know, we got a wall over here and a wall for that and a wall for that. But we have to show our femininity. Can I say that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
And sometimes we're so independent, we want to be, I can do this by myself. But we have to present ourselves not, you know, we're still a lady. If I need help from a man, I'm going to ask you to help me, but I'm going to still stay in my place.
And that and can I cut in? And that's what a decent real man wants. He wants a woman that will let him lead. But you should understand your spouse more when it's time for you to jump in and lead. Like if he needs you to lead right quick, lead for him. You know what I'm saying? That's a marriage. You get what I'm saying? You gotta understand when to lead and when to not lead. Like she was saying, you have to have that. You can't do it all by yourself. Have that. You know, I can use some help. You know. Cause it's better, you know, strength is in two. You get what I'm saying? Like two good ones. Behind every good man is a good woman. You get what I'm saying? So you have to have that. You have to let a man take over sometimes. Not saying lose yourself, but take over. Be a man. Let him be a man to you. You get what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be the first one to admit that my walls is. I've been single for so long, y'all, and that's gonna be a hard one. I'm gonna work on it. I didn't say it's hard, but I'm gonna work on it, and because I changed my own tire, anything broke in the house. Matter of fact, my dad got on me. I came back to stay with my mom, and my dad one part of my life, and the sink needed fixing because it was clogged up. So I was just like this in the sink, getting it, trying to get. My dad said, he called me Ike. They called me Ike. That's my job. I'm like, huh? I couldn't grasp the concept that I got to move over and let you do this. So women, we have been single for so long too. Y'all gonna have to help us in that area. If we do take that manly, that alpha role, and be in lead, we don't know how to fall back. You gotta help us with that,
but the thing is, y'all gotta be willing to listen and open up, though.
We probably would.
That's the thing.
It might be a little struggle. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, Chris.
It's gonna be a struggle, but you have to do it though. If you expect to find. I'm talking to myself too. Anything like I have to understand women. I have to listen. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So we all have to like open up, and we can't be hard all the time. We got sometimes be soft. Listen sometimes.
I gotta
you know
learn
what I'm saying?
that. I really gotta learn that.
Yeah, I mean you can do it.
I know.
It's in you.
I know.
You a woman of God. Ask God to give you the strength to do it. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
Yes, sir.
anything you put your mind to, you can do it. So
Go ahead, Mom.
But
I'm sorry.
a lot of times the single ladies, you know, they have a tendency of wanting to be married too quick, too soon. And you got to take your time. And a lot of times, you know, we can, and I heard somebody say not too long ago in here, we can be looking in the wrong directions. And I said this one time on your podcast, Aisha, and this young lady, she really went against what I said. And I said, you didn't listen to the moral of the story. And this is what I said. I said, ladies, you got to bring your walls down, your standards down. Oh no, I'm not bringing my status down for nothing or nobody. I said, whoa. Because we can miss our opportunity in a husband. And I said that to say this, you know, and you have to be a listener of God. You got to be in prayer with God.
Right.
To know when God present this man or present this lady to you, you gotta be and have a relationship with God. I don't say lower your standards down for somebody that, but it can happen for somebody to come out of prison, make you a good husband.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you gotta be in a relationship to God to take on that, and we cannot say this one is right, that one was right.
Yeah.
But it has to be God in it. And so I said that to say this again, and I gotta, but this young lady, she married this man, but she said when he presented himself to her, he had a cap turned on backwards, had a hole, and holes in your jeans. That wasn't the fashion then. He said he was just he was just literally poor. That hole was there because he couldn't afford, She said, oh no, So he kept on pressing in. He knew that he had to, present himself and be accountable. Like you say, whatever's worth going after, you got to work hard to get it.
Mm-hmm.
So he pursued her. And guess what? The young man today got money, blessing people with cars, and just blessing folk. I won't call no names.
But he seen something in a woman, and it motivated him to
Right.
change. And that's what I mean by it. Good men will change for good women. Like men will change.
And God has
I'm
to do
learning.
that.
Yes.
God has to do that. Because now, to tell my little story, when I met Elder, but one thing about it, I had a relationship with God
Right.
because I seen so much go on in my home. So as a young girl, I began to talk to God. I didn't party, I didn't drink, I didn't do all of that. I wasn't saved. I was just I had morally standards. But I knew how to pray. And I would look on, my mother's and father's relationship, and I say, Lord, but if I ever get married, I don't want to be fussing and fighting and going on and, didn't want to come home from school because I knew it was going to be an argument breaking out, a fight over here. Mm-hmm. And I was praying, telling God what I wanted. And my cousins came up from Mooresville, North Carolina, and they talked about this Jerry Campbell. I didn't know him, hadn't seen him before, didn't know nothing about him. And guess what I told the Lord? I said, God, one of these days, I'm going to meet this Jerry Campbell, and I'm going to marry this Jerry Campbell. Guess what?
Wow.
Married that Jerry Campbell.
Manifest.
I met him, and we've been married this coming June for 50 years.
Wow. Congratulations.
50 years.
50 years.
I had this prayer book. I wanted to. It's a 31 prayer for a husband and 31 day of prayer for a wife. So I've been in this book. If y'all want me to copy, I will copy it for a prayer for your spouse. So I've been in prayer. So, and then I also been in prayer for my kids too.
Yeah, exactly. You got to, because they're young. It's this generation. You have to lead them.
That we're living in now, it is so toxic.
And Pastor, I want you to tell these women, because even singles, because I feel like the concept of being single, we feel like for example, we're not supposed to not have sexual things. We can't keep ourselves just because we're single. We still have that. And just tell the people, you can remain, non-sexual and be single.
Right. Amen. If you want to be kept, you can be kept.
Yeah.
Because the Bible say that for the married people, the bed is undefiled. But the single, that bed is defiled. And God looks at that and he frowns on that. And that is why it's so important to stay under the word, stay in prayer, and don't, and that's why it's not good for single people to hang around married people a lot. Because once you get that flesh stirred up, You gotta take cold showers
Cold showers.
to stay
Look at cartoons.
in the face of God, to be right in the face of God.
Yep.
You know, you don't want to have that bed defiled, then come in here and pretend that you sold this and that. God
Yeah.
sees you,
Yeah.
and guess what? God will download that pastor.
Yeah.
Your shouts off, your testimonies off, your praise is off,
Yeah.
and that's why it is not good to tamper with that flesh. You got to keep that flesh under control.
Yeah.
But some people say that you can't be kept, but you can be kept.
Yeah.
If you want to.
Yes.
You gotta want to.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on that though.
That's a good touch on.
Yeah.
Shout out to Quincy touching on stuff.
Yeah, cause it's a big concept.
It is a big concept.
Yeah, it's a big concept because we feel like, you know, as singles, I feel like we said, we're not held accountable for a lot of stuff. Like, we can get away with, oh, I'm single. Oh, I can talk to Sally, Sue, and this and that because I'm single, you know. But at the end of the day, how is that helping you? You know, you should want to get married and find one, not deal with 2, 3, 4, 5, however. You get what I'm saying? So.
Oh, I don't even understand why this generation, especially people my age, why they don't want to be married. People don't want to be married because they don't want accountability. But then when you get older, who's going to really take care of you? Because your kids might not. Or your kids, you might have 1 or 2, and God forbid, what if they pass away? Who going to help to take care of you?
Everybody needs somebody.
For what? That's, and he statute marriage with, and then I don't know. I can ask April and Quincy this. Do sometimes in your spirit you feel like you are one of those persons that should be married? Not now, but I'm saying in your spirit that somebody deserves somebody like you.
Yes, I answer that. Yes, absolutely. I feel that way. I know what I have to offer, like deep down inside. Like, I know, like, what is instilled in me, my discipline, what I've been taught, how I was raised to treat women and stuff like that. Like, I'm the type of kid or man, like, even if I say something off the wall, people that see me out, they be like, oh, that's not Curly Murdoch's son. Nope, that ain't him. Or I do something on Facebook. You know better than that, Quincy Murdoch. You know better. Because they know I wasn't raised like that.
Right.
You know, deep down, you know, I was raised with respect, manners, yes ma'am, no ma'am. We hold the door open for the lady, you know, like stuff like that. So, at the end of the day, you know, that's how we were raised. You know, I was raised to respect women. So I feel like I have great qualities. And sometimes, you know, we get caught up in the world. Sometimes I'm not human. But the thing about church, as we was talking, when you're in the church, you can step off God a little bit, but he's always going to pull you back in. Mm-hmm. Other than if you're not in the church, you might just lose it. You get what I'm saying? So you have that little bit of protection when you're coming. You get what I'm saying? And one day it's going to click. And it's going to click all the way, and you're going to get every step right. So I'd rather be a part of the church and be slagging a little bit and be able for growth, and finally it's going to click, than just to be out there and be lost. So church is another important thing for the singles, man. You got to be in church.
What about you? Do you feel like in your spirit, is it time to cut it off? Okay. Do you feel like in your spirit that you are like you should be somebody's wife?
Yes. I don't know how to explain it, but yes, just getting the word from God is where I guess coming into church has taught me is that your worth comes from God and not really the worldly things. And so I do know that God does want us to be married. And so I just know that he made me, that somehow he made me with a purpose. It wasn't just I don't know how to wrap it up, but yes.
I understand. Tammy, do you have anything to say? I don't want to
Yeah,
ignore
tell me,
you.
what is your outlook on this? Your status?
Are you shy? Okay, she's shy. But we didn't want to ignore you, okay? So we just want you to be a part. We love me, Quincy, April, Mama, we and Dwayne. We love people, so
Yeah.
we don't want to leave nobody out of discussion. But I don't know. It's been good topics.
Yeah, it's been a great topic. Great
It's-
topic.
It's
Any questions on the Facebook Live?
oh, haven't even checked that. Probably not, cause I haven't even really checked it. Sorry, y'all, if y'all did. I just see people. Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely.
Marriages in a church is very healthy for a church to have married couples, because God styled the church as a marriage. So and that is why, this is really good and it's really healthy for Refuge and anybody else that want to come and join in.
Yeah.
So the next time, don't stop, because your audience is like
Right.
this. Keep it moving, keep it going,
Absolutely.
because if you stay consistent and repetitive, God will add more and more and more come.
Mhm.
So don't be discouraged,
Right.
but keep it moving. And this is good.
Yeah,
Even
absolutely.
with this, what we got, this
Right.
is good.
And-
This is healthy.
Somebody wrote the reason being single is stress free. So they feel like if you single and stay single, you stress free. But
Temporarily, yes.
yeah, temporary. Are you safe and stress free if you don't get married or your goal is not? I'm gonna say no, because, and the reason why I'm gonna say no, because it is obstacles out here every day that you gotta conquer,
Yeah.
and it's so hard. I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm single and I'm a single parent.
Yeah.
And it's so hard out here being single, just like you were saying, and Pastor was saying, we act like women acting like alpha males, and we sitting here doing stuff. If I had a man to sit here and get the oil change or put up this stuff, I think
the grass.
it'll help me and release
that.
the load off of my back, because women, especially African American females, we always, you gotta be strong. You gotta be strong. What are times where we don't want to be strong?
Exactly.
Where we want to just cry in somebody's arms?
Exactly.
Give us a day of compassion and just empathy and sympathy. Be like, okay, I got you.
And that's what's missing.
Yeah, because we feel like just the weight is on, and then I know my daughter's gonna be like, Mama complain all the time. I sit here because the weight is on my neck.
Yeah.
And then it's like you gotta figure this out, figure that out, and especially if you have kids, you gotta figure stuff out for your kids. I know my kids are still grown. I can't get out of the habit of trying not to figure out stuff for them, because I've been doing it for years.
You always gonna be a mother. That's a mother instinct. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
it's
saying?
like you just figuring stuff out, and then you get so tired of figuring stuff out. So how can then you sitting here, if you're a good man, you sitting down holding your goodness on somebody else that you can help.
And that is where if you got church men and they know that the single ladies is in the church, that's a good place for them to, jump in. Where can I help? And if they do help, they need to bring their wife.
Right.
See that's what I was saying. We need the communication, because like if you're not approachable in the church, then how will people know you? How will people know? So it's like we have to open up more. We have to be real. What are you looking for? Express your feelings. Just be real. Be real with yourself. Be real with everybody.
But
You
if
get what
you
I'm saying?
express your feelings, this is special. Back again with African American. If you express you complaining. Oh, I need my lip chap. This lips peeling. But
You good? You good? Keep going.
oh, you complaining and you this and you that. I hope I am approachable. I don't even think that. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say this on record. Single women like myself, been single so long, I don't think that we are approachable. And the reason why I say that because we we walk in I walk in the mall or the grocery store, and the only thing I got on my thoughts is I gotta get this, that, and the other. I'm not smiling. I'm just like worried about what I gotta get, what I'm going through. So I don't even think that we're approachable now because we don't carry the weight. We're not even approachable now.
Exactly.
What you think, April?
I can kind of see how you get that because yeah, when I go to places, it's not oh, I'm doing this. It's just okay. I know I have to get this, and then go home. So it's like you're already in your mind. You got your checklist of what you're doing. But then also, I think the time has changed to where at some point it was the men that was approaching females, but I think that's slacked off now. And then some females are proposing to men or whatnot. So again, it's a different generation.
But I'll say that's because we have to feel comfortable about who we're approaching. I don't like my that's my like my outlook. Like we have to be comfortable. Like if I don't know you, like a simple hey how you doing can go to a lot conversation. But nowadays it's like hey how you doing and keep moving. You get what I'm saying? But if I don't know you, you have to open up to me because I don't know if you're married. I don't know if you're taken. I don't know. I don't get involved with stuff like that. So I have to know who you are. I gotta make sure you safe. You're saved and everything. You get what I'm saying?
I don't think this generation
we're not like on that level.
We're not approachable anymore. It was where you could just have a conversation. The world done got evil. So in our mind, they gonna kill us or something. In our mind, knowing my daddy, they gonna kill your tail. So in my mind, I gotta get in, get out. But I'm not approachable. I'm just not approachable. And it's not that it's my fault that I'm not approachable. It's society has made. And then now, these days, we doing online dating, which don't work out for me. It doesn't work online dating. Because now in your mind, I got daddy, elder in my mind. They going to kill your tail. So in your mind, you like, okay, this is how we doing it now? We got to go online to find somebody? Okay, so you go with that flow. That doesn't work out. I'm not approachable because society has made us thinking that everybody going to try to kill us, even though they probably not. It's just we got to be cautious these days. So how do you become approachable? I guess these events, when you go to different events that we're going to go, you smile. My mom, she's always approachable because she's going to have a conversation in Walmart for hours. And you got to get her a deadline. And I guess I am that way, but you got to get talking. Yeah. We're going to be in this Walmart for 15 minutes, get what you need to get so we can get out. If you see somebody, throw your hands up, let's go. But no, she got to sit there and talk.
Well, to conclude this, man, I feel like, I feel like love is always going to be alive. Love is somebody for everybody out here. And, just we got to stay positive. Be real with ourselves, be real with the people. And first and foremost, keep God first in everything. Because if God, this is my closing, if God cares about everything in your life, from your health and your family and everything, what makes us think that he doesn't have a hand on our partner and who we settle down with?